My name is Ankush Agarwal. I'm a principal at Exelon. I manage the data analytics group within internal audit and financial controls. My key responsibilities are basically to build and deploy analytics to support internal audit and financial controls. While the business is focusing on answering questions in kind of a yes/no, so they have to know what the right answer is. What audit is able to do is we no longer focus on the yes and no's. We can provide general answers which give us that general risk assurance over the area. So for example, at Exelon, we wanted to answer the question of, is an employee giving an adjustment to his neighbors? And again, the business doesn't want to focus on that kind of a question because it's like, there's no right or wrong answer. But we went ahead and built a analytic for that because we figured, what's the harm in developing something and then seeing if there's any risk around that area. So we built a dashboard where we were able to, on a map, show all the customers who got adjustments and the employees who were giving them adjustments. So you could click on a customer and you could clearly see which employee gave it to him. And we were able to zoom in to the specific area so that on a Google map, using our dashboard, you could clearly see how far away they were. We assigned a filter where you could clearly kind of show me all employees within 1 mile, within 2 miles. And so we were able to kind of build a kind of user interface where you could kind of play around and see what was happening. And so by building this dashboard, you could clearly see that there wasn't at a high level much of that going on. When we looked at, let's say, a 2-mile radius, there weren't that many employees giving adjustments to their customers in their area. So from a high-level perspective, we were able to answer the question that looks like, regardless of if they are monitoring this or not, it's not happening. Now, that being answered, then we can drill down, and we saw a few examples which we want to do, focus in on and do our audit on, and we're in the process of doing that. And that definitely will add some value. But the big change is that you're able to build these complex analytics in less than 2-3 weeks. And that's the change, right? You no longer have to invest months to get something working which seems so sophisticated. I think that's the change. And that's really what's happening because of this, the change because of the data revolution. So things have become so cheap. And if you have the vision to kind of think about something and you have the right people who can implement them, I think it's become very easy to go ahead and do these things. There are relatively cheaper technologies like Tableau, Spotfire, where you can connect to the databases live. You can build analytics and visuals in less than 5 minutes. So no longer do you have to think too much about what am I building. You can spend 10-20 minutes just building the analytics, and if it doesn't work, you move on. So that's what's changed. It's the being able to get to the visual of the analytic in less time. Not having to build a database and then once you think that you've got something, then build the visual. So that transformation of the visual analytics becoming easier is what I'm talking about. It's the big change. And when I say things are easy, I'm not talking about so anybody can start doing it. That's the goal. The big idea is that if you have the right people in your organization who are asking the right questions and you have them working on this problem, it will not take them too long. So you definitely need to hire the right people, you need to talk to the right people, have the right business problem in mind. Once you have that figured out, the execution of it is easy. Previously, you might have to spend months to do something. Now it's probably easier to show that you will fail or you'll succeed. Now, once you've done that, you can definitely spend the time to invest to take it to conclusion. But I can tell you very, very early on that it will or will not work. I think that's the real value in terms of saying, hey, I didn't spend 3 months on something which didn't make sense.